there guys, welcome back to another awesome video. Today's comic review is finally the Empyrean Command issue 1. So issue 1 kind of sort of continues where issue 0 left off with, which that was the last issue that we have read, issue 0. I'll leave a link in the description on that review and a few other things associated with the Empyrean Command that we've covered so far. But we read this last time, and so it kind of picks up from there. The reason why I say kinda is because we see some familiar faces like Midnight Owl and Captain Unity, and I think one other member of the Empyrean Command lead a small mini squad of these different heroes that we haven't seen before, these new heroes that we're now introducing in this issue as they go after more supernatural beings that could be a threat to the bigger universe or perhaps the bigger multiverse. So like with issue 0, issue 1 has some familiar names that we went over a little bit with issue 0. Like for example, Andrew Rowland is another writer that made issue 1. And so shout out again to him for supplying me with this one for free. And whether it's personally him or his company or everyone involved, but I just want to say thank you again for supplying me with this for free this time. I paid for issue 0. They gave me this for free after they saw my review, which was awesome. And I don't expect the next issue and next issues going forward to be free, but I am looking forward to issue 2, and hopefully I'll get more deets and more like updates on what's going on. But anyways, so we have, of course, Roland, and then some other names on here that we have. I don't mean to compare, but I mean looking at issue 0 and look at issue 1, there is Bennett, whoever Bennett is, last name is Bennett, is still involved, and we have MacDonald again, and we have a new name here. I think it says Olivera. I'm sorry if I'm maybe making this too deep or butchering your last name, but Oliveira. And honestly, there's a few things that are definitely different from this issue compared to issue 0. And that thing is for certain the drawing style. Not necessarily the drawing style in the actual books, but when you look at issue 0, now, I have nothing wrong with this cover. I love this cover, actually. This is probably the best cover, I think, in my opinion. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just a little biased because I got myself familiar, again, before reading about the Empyrean Command. I heard about the artists and these creators that came up with these characters like Midnight Owl, Steel Wolf, and Thunder Woman, and a few other characters that I discovered through DeviantArt. So I am a little maybe biased on that, but also I just do like this cover. It kind of gives me Infinity War, like the Infinity War, Infinity Gauntlet vibes with you see your heroes, you see your villain, and stuff like that. But this is definitely has a different resolution and design compared to issue 1. And like I said, I love that cover right here I'm looking at. But this one looks very much more higher quality. Like this looks like a very official licensed comic that you would see at a comic book store that's maybe done by Marvel or DC or even Image Comics. Point is, whoever this new person was or is, or whoever it is that made the cover here, looks like they really upped the ante, and it's almost like you gave yourselves like a bit of a bigger budget. So props to that. And I will say this, the other crucial thing that is different from issue 0 to issue 1 is that it leaves you off with a cliffhanger. And I don't have that problem. I don't see that as a problem. I think that's going to be great because that builds up to, hey, what's going to happen with issue 2? Because literally our heroes face to face with this villain who seeks to be a ruler, a king, a god, a deity of these serpent men, or this serpent society, if you will. And that's how it literally ends. Kind of a small spoiler, but still. So that's one thing. And the other thing that's very different is, of course, the heroes that are involved. Like I said, Midnight Owl we have, who I love Midnight Owl. I'm very kind of like, I know the guy who created him, so I have a very biased tree around it because I know a little bit about Midnight Owl. I love the artwork around him. I just love the character himself. I like some of these other guys, like Captain Unity, but I like some the new people that we're introduced to, like there's a character called Primal Spectre who's riding on a dinosaur and he looks like a snake. I love him. There's South Star, seems kind of cool at least, and these are newbies, so I'm assuming these are fresh faces and kind of like youngsters that want to join the Empyrean command. And I guess that kind of changes up the dynamic, even though I was kind of thinking and expecting, hey, maybe we would see other faces that were just introduced to in issue 0 and issue 1. Not that everything needs to be exactly the same, but I kind of in the back of my head was thinking, like, where is everyone else during this issue? Like, not that every issue needs to have every detail on where everyone is and what's going on in the bigger scale, in the bigger scheme of things. And hopefully it's where we're going to go forward with the other issues, is that we're going to see what these other characters are up to, like Blue Jay and Steel Wolf and all these other ones. Also, this one's not really as action oriented. Not that I need all my comics to be full of pow, booms, and whams and everything. Sometimes it is nice to have the superheroes have a moment to have conversations or just sit and all, but this story felt very shorter than issue 0, because issue 0, it felt like there was at least like almost story 1, story 2, and story 3, and then it kind of came together, or at least some of them kind of interwoven within like a smaller like mini bonus story at the end, more or less. But at least it kind of like almost came together. This one's just kind of like a shorter story about them just going to this deserted jungle or this deserted forest, and there's a goddess involved that tells them about the serpent people, and I guess there's a bit of betrayal, or there's a bit of like tension between the team a little bit, which I like that. I like that it gives us a moment to have these youngsters not just because, hey, these are newbies, they need to be new, and the whole stereotypical, the new guys need to have conflict with the veterans, not generic. It kind of adds, there is reason and morals to these heroes, and just we need to hate you guys because you guys are old, we need to hate you guys because you guys are young and you guys don't get it. It's not like that. It's kind of addressed just nowhere in that sense. So I do appreciate that. But it was the one story, and that's pretty much the praise I'm going to give this for sure, but also kind of like a small, like not nitpick, but that's the only kind of like small thing I kind of didn't expect. And it's not a gripe, but it just, I'm being fully honest to, I know I'm going to show this to Andrew Rowland, and probably some of the other writers are going to take a look at this, and I'm not trying to be like, I hate this. It's just a small little thing that I didn't expect, and I don't know, like, again, I don't need all the stories to be fully packed with stuff and substance, but maybe this is different, and it felt a little weird kind of going from, I think the thing is the best way I could put this, actually, now that I've kind of have a better way of phrasing it, is that I think it's weird in a way that we've seen the entire team to now we've gone to a smaller scale. Maybe not that every story needs to be big scale, but it kind of felt a little weird all of a sudden. Like, it felt like there's a time jump. That's it. That's better. That's what makes more sense. It felt like there was a time jump or a time skip, and maybe there will be flashbacks, or maybe there'll be other stuff, or maybe I'm definitely gonna reread this, but maybe I just gotta reread this again. But it definitely feel like there was a bit of a skip, with just a small skip. But it's nothing detrimental to my review, because in all honesty, I still am looking forward to this series, and I'm really going to keep continuing to want to read this stuff. And the Empyrean Command issue 1, so I still enjoyed this book. The Empyrean Command issue 1, what are your thoughts about it? And if you guys pick up an issue, whether it's issue 1, issue 0, I highly recommend you pick up both of them. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about them? And as always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please smash that button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe to awesome videos every day, if not every week. Make sure you ring that bell to new videos every day every week. Share the video with your friends, all the good stuff. For more, leave suggestions in the comment section. You name it, I'll look at it as best as possible. Look out for more top 10 videos I'm gonna try and get in. I'm gonna try and get some movie reviews in for this month and next month, and then I'm gonna try and get back into streaming a little bit. It's been a little bit difficult, but when we get back into streaming, I will address some updates a little bit as well with some things. So hopefully whenever this gets uploaded, this video is uploaded before streams happen. Hopefully next week or going into this new week, I will have a stream and then be able to kind of give you guys a little bit of just deets about what's going to happen for the next week and going forward, hopefully. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.